Hey everyone, welcome back to the His&Hers the Truth podcast. Happy holidays. My name is Tuan. This is my lovely wife.
Sim, great seeing everyone. And thank you guys. You know what, honey? I've noticed we've got more viewers and love and support. Thank you for pressing that like button. And, if you believe in our content and you're enjoying our content, please do share and subscribe if you're new to our channel.
Yeah, and of course, turn on the notification bell. I don't know how well it's going to work because
Yeah.
obviously the YouTube algorithm is kind of obviously always suppressing us.
Yep.
So quit shadow watching out there like my wife is saying. And of course, guys, as always, right, watch the whole video and then, of course, comment at the end. We are starting to do, if you guys haven't noticed already, we started doing kind of these shorts to hopefully answer your guys' questions. Hoping you guys are enjoying those because I think that's going to be the best way for us to answer your questions or react to your comments moving forward, which we love, guys.
Yeah.
Positive or negative, we love all your guys' comments. And I know we've gotten a lot of comments recently on some of our reaction videos, honey, so appreciate it. Keep them coming in. So speaking of today's video that we're going to react to, honey, it's from a channel called Based Rice Man. Which is kind of pretty cool. cool title, I guess, or cool channel, title name. But guys, go subscribe to their channel, his channel. I'm assuming it's a dude, right? I don't know enough about the channel, but any Asian content creator, guys, any Asian influencers out there, Asian actors, sports stars, whatever, right? Go support our Asian brothers and sisters. It's always okay to have different viewpoints. Obviously, the truth is the truth. You can't alter the truth, but hey, it's always good to have different viewpoints so we can discuss, debate about the truth. Okay, so today's title of the video, honey, is How Asian Incels Are Created. And this came up on my feed, and I kind of wanted to just see it because I think it's going to be relatable to a lot of my Asian brothers out there who has lived or experienced or grew up in the same situation. All right, so let's begin.
See.
Yep.
누구랑 놀 때 제일 좋아?
잘 모르겠어. 너무 취침하니까. 아예 안 놀아줘.
아빠는 어때?
한마디 하면 무서워.
아빠한테 바라는 거 있어?
그렇게 불려주면 좋겠죠. 누나 이렇게 불려줘야 좋겠죠.
엄마는 어때?
다 좋아하는 것 같아.
Okay, before we get to the mom. So, first of all, honey, just what do you think about just everything, right? This kid, the way he looks, and of course, kind of what his initial, comments about his dad and everything like that. What do you think about that, honey?
Well, they picked out a child that, a lot of, say, Western influencer here, the way they're treating us adult male, goofy kid, goofy guy with glasses, dressed like, you know what I mean? But he's a kid. But the thing is,
but wouldn't you say though that this is kind of like what your average Asian kid kind of grows up looking like though?
I know, but come on, guys, you know what I mean? Like, the Asian bowl haircut. Like let's try to get away from that bowl haircut. I mean, everybody's like, okay, the typical, if you say first haircut, bowl, the bowl haircut, like, and then that makes us look goofy, right? That's one of them. Second, okay, where his dad isn't, as you can see, as nice, like he's sort of come out like, that mean, strong demeanor where he can't even talk to his child. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to play with him. He's probably just so self-absorbed doing his thing where he's ignoring his son. Yeah. So his son can't even approach him. So that could be another, inferior thing.
So do you think, right? Because this, like I said, guys, I think this is going to really touch home with a lot of my Asian brothers. Because this kid can't be what? More than like maybe 5, 4 years old?
Yeah.
Maybe at the most, right? Obviously, Asian kids, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes because obviously, they don't get as big as American kids or white kids are. But just, the way obviously he's talking, he's obviously fairly, influent and, talking already. So my point is, do you think having a dad that grows up with kind of that mentality, and this is true of a lot of Asian dads, guys, right? Because I think this is something that we continually, unfortunately, pass down on to our children, but specifically our boys, right? And men. Do you think that he's going to turn out that way too?
What? being not approachable, yeah, he probably will be. He's
Yeah.
what kids see the parents do or adults do, they're gonna pick up on it. Because
Yeah.
kids just absorb like a sponge. If a dad is playing sports, he's putting everything down, like, hey, you know, now it's my focus. You know, job is a job, but now I gotta focus on my kids, see how my son is doing. Let's be active with him. Let's go play. Let's throw balls. Let's do this. He's gonna carry that with his kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you see a dad just come home all grumpy, like, hey, get away from me type deal, you know, I'm already tired. I've worked all day. I don't want to talk to you. And then
Well, I don't
mistreating.
think
You know, I'm just saying.
that
you
could be
know?
the reason. That could be the reason, but I think every ethnicity goes through that. I'm sure there's a lot of American dads, white, black, or whatever, that comes from home from a hard day of work, and we don't want to like deal with our kids or our significant other, right? I don't think that's specifically an Asian issue.
No, but it's a trait.
But the
It's a
Asian
trait.
issue that I'm clearly pointing out is how we teach our boys. And what we normally teach our boys is, I'm gonna be super hard on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have these super high demands, even at 2 years old, 3 years old, or whatever it is, right? You can barely freaking walk, you can barely talk, but I'm already expecting these high demands from you. And instead of teaching you how to endure those hardships or teach you how to become a better man, I'm just gonna be super hard on you, so that way you'll learn how to deal with the hardships of life.
Yeah, but then most of the parents who do teach them the hard things, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to study, but they're not trying to tell you why you're doing it.
Thank you.
Okay? They're not explaining, son or daughter, why I'm teaching you this, why I'm telling you to do this, because it's just not, you can't tell, if you're telling a child, oh yeah, it's for your own good, so you can do this, do you think they're going to listen? You got to give them the reasons to back them up, why you're telling them to do this. Like,
Guys,
why are you punishing me?
Guys,
why you're telling me to do this stuff?
Yeah.
Why am I studying for this? You know? And that's what Asian parents don't do.
Any young kid, right? But an adult, if someone throws you into a situation, let's say you've never done freaking, I don't know, you've never played soccer before, right? And all of a sudden, someone throws you into a soccer, freaking field with everyone else. And they're like, go play. And you're like, okay, how do I play? Well, just go do it. Go run and freaking, kick the ball. Right? You don't know how you're doing already. You're a dumbass, right? Like, that's literally what the experience of Asian men are typically from their fathers, right? They're like, they'll call you over in a harsh tone, right? Like, hey, come over here. Why did you make a mess here? And it's like, okay, I made a mess, but why do you need me to clean up, right? If you want me to be organized and clean, why do you want me to be that way? Oh, it's because that way I appreciate my things more. Oh, it's because that way I can keep track of my things more, so I'm not losing things or breaking things. Oh, so that way I can actually, be able to manage more things at once, right? Because if you're disorganized, you're gonna forget where things go, right? You're gonna freaking lose things and freaking obviously not be able to manage everything correctly. But that's the problem with Asian fathers.
They don't tell
We don't tell our kids, our sons specifically, why they need to do that. Obviously, a kid isn't dumb, right? Especially, once you get to a certain age as well, too. If you explain the reason why you want them to do that thing, they'll be like, okay, cool. That makes sense on why I need to do it. Oh, I need to keep my room clean so that way I don't lose my toys. Okay, thanks, Dad. Yeah, I don't want to lose my toys. Right? I want to make sure I don't freaking lose my toys, so I'll freaking keep it clean, right? Oh, I don't want to freaking get sick because there's freaking dirt or hair everywhere. Okay, cool. I don't want to get sick, right? If you make freaking damn sense and you tell your kids why, and that tells them, okay, that way I'm a better person as well too, they'll do it, right? And I think that's the problem. But let's keep going.
Okay.
엄마한테 말해봤어?
내 말을 안 들어줘. 어준이야, 놀아주면 좋겠어. 엄마랑 같이.
이거 잡아당기지 말고 어준아.
엄마가 처음 땄어. 엄마는요? 왜 어준이는 물고 하는데 왜 어준이는
너무 무섭겠다. 근데 금쪽 입장에서는 엄마가 그냥 얘기해줬잖아. 어준아. 엄마 보고 있는. 아이고.
어디가 있어?
엄마 여기 있었어. 어준이 혼자 잘 놀면서 왜 그래, 어준아? 놀다가 어준이 그만 놀고 싶으면 와.
엄마 기다려.
Okay, so what do you think about that initial reaction? Because now obviously he went with the mom, and you kind of saw her reaction. And guys, I don't think the intent is malicious with a lot of traditional Asian mom and dad.
Yeah.
But I'll let you go first, honey. Why do you think the mom did what she did? And you look at her reaction, like you can see that even though her son in her eyes, he was crying. Like the little kid is crying. And most moms, you would think, right? Most moms would want to be nurturing and like console their
Go
son.
there and cuddle.
Right. And you can see in her eyes that she kind of felt that. She, you know, she was like almost about to come to tears herself in a way, but she still didn't want to do that.
Well, because she doesn't want to baby him. She wants him to learn to defend for himself. She wants him to, you know, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I've seen how she walked away. You know what I mean? Like a child, even though knows, like, you know, we have 3 kids of our own. I mean, we've got twins and twin boys on top of that, but it's like we still keep an eye on them. They know that mom's there. But yeah, at the same time, like you've seen our kids, they fall, they play, whatever.
Yeah, but did you do that when they were this age? Though?
I don't like if they fall and hurt, then yeah, mom go look, but to see if how injured they are. But I'm like, okay, you're okay, son. Now let's go play. You know,
but did
you're
you
not, like,
do that to
cuddling.
them where like literally they're walking around looking for you, and then obviously right?
No,
and
our eyes are close by. We're close by.
Yeah, I mean, if your son or your daughter calls out to you, you're gonna be like, hey, yeah, what do you need?
Right
What's
here.
up? Right? Very, I would think a very common thing. So I'm not saying that what she's doing, like I said, is malicious, but I think there's a very good reason on why Asian people think that's necessary. I want to hear your opinion about that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as more an Americanized parents, we don't do that, right? We just like, okay, kid runs around. You know, yeah, it's one thing for him to be able to play by himself. Totally get that. That's totally fine. You shouldn't have to baby him and be there, like, you know, holding his hand all the time. But if the dude starts calling for you, right? The kid starts calling for you and be like, hey, mom and dad, where are you at? You don't kind of just like lay back in the cut and like watch him like go through this whole like, you know, struggle and freaking cry, right?
No.
So
I always made sure with our kids.
So yeah, so
contact.
why do you think? Because like I said, guys, I want to make this video kind of very connecting all the dots for my Asian brothers out there, because I think a lot of us have lived this experience.
Yeah.
And so you guys need to understand the why now. Hopefully I'm going to break down the why for you guys, but also hopefully I can tell you guys how to change this mindset, right? So honey, what do you think? Why do you think she wanted to do that even though she knew that it wasn't like right in her heart, her gut feeling?
Well, because I mean, maybe he's not getting that caring sort of father figure, like being the strong thing. Because think about it. So she now has to play a role of a dad to be partially tough, but yet at the same time be sensitive if her son is really, really hurt. If he's just getting a bump here or there, she's not going to keep running there because she's like, well, you know what? Your dad's working day and he's not playing with you during the, you know, daytime, whatever else. So I got to play that male role, be strong. You got to toughen it up or you're going to be crushed. You know? So yes, you're right. But it's not because that the dad is not giving the kid the male role. The problem is, I think Asian women, especially traditional Asian women like this, do allow the men to lead, right? Do allow their husband to like, okay, be the leader of the household. But the problem, guys, we've had, unfortunately, a century, decades of this kind of indoctrination of how Asian men are supposed to act and also how Asian boys are supposed to be taught, right? And so what I'm getting at is that because the dad has told the family, this is how Asian men are supposed to be, right? Like you're supposed to not, very talkative, right? You're not supposed to show emotion. You're not supposed to really show love and affection to not only your significant other, but also to your kids as well. Really have kind of like this strong, authoritarian dictatorship presence, right? And that's how we can become better, because I get it, guys. I get it. We can make all the excuses in the world, right? Asian countries are hard, right? It's a dog-eat-dog world. You don't make it, no one's going to come to save you. But that's true of any society. Yes, I get it. We have better, it's a little bit better in the Western countries, right? We're not as harsh as some of the, third world countries are. But ultimately, at the end of the day, no one is coming to save men, right? And so Asian culture realized that, and they say, hey, for us to somehow make the best men,
We got to make them already harsh and realize the harsh realities of the world at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. But this is the problem, right? It's you've taught the world that the world is hard. How can you teach them to conquer it?
Yeah.
Right? We never came to that issue. And you know why? You know why we never came to the freaking the system, the operation, the procedures of how to make our sons conquer that harsh world?
Yeah.
It's because we never conquered it ourselves.
Yep.
That's the problem. All these Asian dads are freaking beta ass losers. I can't, I'm gonna say it right here, right? And because they weren't able to conquer it, and they were never told why either. They were never taught from their dad, their grandfathers, their great grandfathers how to tackle this world. They were just like, okay, well, this is the process that we all go through. This is the rite of passage, right? We all get shat on. We all get freaking told that we're not good enough. We all get told to freaking that. And somehow, I guess that's how we need to do it to make the best men. But no human being, no man, woman, girl, boy, whatever, is not going to get better without teaching, without education, right? And that's the problem with the Asian culture. We never got how to make our boys and our men better. And so we just kept following this old routine of crapping on our men and in hopes, right? It's kind of like that, hey, if we crap on our men enough, maybe there's going to be one person that's going to not take the crap. Yeah, it's not going to take the crap and BS and hopefully just get themselves out of the mud.
And then think about it. They were still mentally unstable.
100%.
And think about it. We met people through walks of life where their business, where they had money, their dad passed down to them, member of a company, right? We're not going to say who, right? But their dads are still shadowing him.
Yeah.
Even though he has increased, the company to a huge, a better thing, but he's still overshadowing every event.
Yeah. And I get it,
and we
guys.
know who it is.
And I get it. It does work out sometimes, right? And we can talk about the exceptions to the norm, right?
Yeah.
You can say, because what happens is the guys who make it out of the mud, this is what happens. Something in their brain finally clicks in their brain that says, hey, I can't rely on anybody. Not even my own dad and mom. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and try to be the best man I can be. I'm going to rely on myself only.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go get the education. I'm going to go get the training. I'm going to go do what it takes to survive in this harsh world.
Yeah.
And because of that mindset and because of the right whatever situations, they make it work and become like this top tier guy.
Yeah.
But on average, we got to talk about on average, how often does this system work? And you can see it now, right? You can see with what the current situation, how Asian men are viewed, how Asian men are obviously performing, right? Least desired on dating apps, all short, only focusing on finance, right? Terrible with women, not freaking outgoing, not being able to talk, super introverted, not being able to talk in public, not being able to talk to friends and family, right? You see the results, the average results of what the system creates.
And it's still the same.
Right? And it's still the same until we break that cycle, guys. Okay? Let's finish the rest of the video.
안 기다려.
엄마 기다려. 어준이야.
어준이 너 한글이 좋아, 수학이 좋아, 그림 그리는 게 좋아?
그림 그리니까.
그래, 엄마가 봤을 때 너는 공부에 소질이 없어. 어준아, 미대 갈 거야? 미대 오빠 할 거야?
얘도 오빠?
미대
아니.
오빠. 미대 오빠는 잘생겨야 돼. 너는 안 돼. 근데 너 미대 오빠 못해.
왜?
미술은 돈이 많이 들거든. 엄마는 돈이 없어.
Okay, so that was the end of the video. So that last part too was a very, very significant thing that we do in the Asian house. So this kid, obviously, he wants to become an art student. He's good at drawing, right? And his mom's like saying, well, you can't become an art student because I have no money. And then also she said literally like, what, you're not good at studying? So right
Shut him
away,
down.
see, our stereotypes already of what we think make money and what not doesn't make money is already apparent, right?
Yep.
So she doesn't think obviously him being artistic, creative can make money, right? And she thinks that already those people are stupid. Right? Because she's saying, what, you're not good at studying?
Yeah.
So obviously that's her way of saying, oh, you're a dumbass, right? Because all you could do is draw and be creative. So what do you think about that, honey?
Well, she sure has already shot down his dream. So think about that. When you're not even, as a child, especially a child, and you're not supporting their dreams already, then they're already going to feel like, belittled already. Like, you can't do this better. You can't choose this path or whatever else. But how do you know he's not going to be a successful artist?
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen all these artists, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they make millions of dollars. So what you're trying to do is already shutting down your kids. You're telling them, you know what, you want to do this, you want to do that. So you're going to be a dumbass because, you can't choose that path. You're not going to make money. So why would you do that? Especially for a child. A child needs to be nurtured, their dreams, and build it. How do you know he can't be a famous artist? How do you know he's not going to make a living at being an artist?
Yeah. Well, we need to go back to context, right? And I get it. See, this is kind of where playing the average as Asian people also hurts us, right? So I get it, right? Playing the average, like, being a doctor, being a lawyer, being an engineer, being the STEM fields, right?
Yeah.
It's going to give you the best chances to have a productive career and make money, right? The problem is, once again, is the why. Okay, mom and dad, you don't want me to become an artist. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I'm dumb? No, son, it's not because you're dumb. It's because you going into a creative field like art, or let's say even like, acting or freaking, because anything creative, right? Music or freaking, singing, whatever, right? Your chances of making a lot of money is slimmer, right? Fine. If you said that to a kid, right, and you say, hey, if you really want to make money, these avenues, right, doctor, lawyer, the STEM fields are a lot easier way to make money than the creative fields. At least the kid would understand that, and he can make his own decision, right? But once again, without that context, the kids are just gonna think, oh, my mom thinks I'm dumb.
Yeah.
My mom thinks my creative art side sucks, right? This is the reason why Asian men are so always trying to seek validation from their parents, right?
Yep.
Because they're constantly getting shat on from their natural abilities to do things, right? Oh, I can do this, but my mom's always telling me I suck balls, or you can't do it because it's not good, right? They don't tell you the why. So, we need to explain to our kids the why. And then also, my wife is still 100% correct too. It's like, you need to support them in what they're good at, right? Just because they become, let's say, a doctor or an engineer doesn't mean that creative side won't be helpful.
Yeah.
Right? What happens if they become an engineer? And let's say they become, a structural engineer, right?
Drawings.
And they design a new building structure that actually like withstands, earthquakes better because of their creativity, right? This is why Asian men can't be leaders sometimes, because we don't think outside of the box.
Yep.
We only think within a system that's already been given to us. We've been programmed so much to believe it's just a system and just stick within that system. So we can never think out of the box. And when you don't think out of the box, you're never going to be an inventor. You're never going to be the freaking leader, because the leader has to freaking obviously be creative sometimes to lead, to make up new things, to come up, be inventive.
Yep.
Right? And so, yes, that is going to hurt us. But once again, we need to explain the why, right? This is the huge thing, right? Otherwise, we're always going to continually create this cycle of, like this video said, of incel men, right? That all they do is believe in this one system. They don't know the why, right? They're always going to believe that they're inferior. They're always going to believe that they're not good enough, right? And the things that they were good in were never freaking obviously promoted, right? So I think that was a great video. I'll let you have any final thoughts, honey, but I think that was a great video because I think that touched home with a lot of Asian boys, Asian men, my Asian brothers that are struggling out there. I hope you guys use this as a learning lesson, not to make an excuse for yourself, right? But use it as a learning lesson on this is why it was done to you. This is why the matrix was thrown upon you. But now you can open your eyes and hopefully change the outcomes, right? Okay, it sucks. We were thrown into the matrix. Now we freaking have to escape, right? But you got to figure out how to do that, okay?
You just got to level up, and you know what? And if you have kids or, or just for yourself, you know what? You're not born into it. You can change it. There's no time like, oh my God, it's too old now. I can't change. No, you can change your ways. If you're still alive and breathing, you can make changes in your life because choices are up to you. So when you have kids, please listen to them and see how they're doing and whatever else, check on them. And like my husband said, hey, ask them. It's not just here, do this, teach them, give them a reason, all that other stuff.
That doesn't make you less of a man.
No.
Wanting to teach your kids how to do the right things.
Let's break that cycle.
And if you don't know how to do the right things, you become a better man yourself by learning how to do the right things. They say in life, actually, you become a better you become better at your skill when you're able to actually teach another person that skill.
That's true.
Right? And so that's you know, look at it as also as bettering yourself, right? So shout out to all my Asian dads. Hopefully you guys watch this video, comment, you have questions, please do so, because I think this is something that we need to change within the Asian community if we ever want to get better. Okay.
Very true.
Anyways, guys, appreciate your time. Talk to you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Join us as we give you guys a glimpse into our lives, give you guys advice, hopefully give you guys entertainment value as well too, and provide you guys better outcomes.
Yes.